Yeah, so what's up? How's it going? Let's log into Chatty over here. Let's see. So there's a few things I got going on. Hey Flipcoder. Hey Cash Bear. Wow, you guys joined fast. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, like I literally just started the stream. I can't believe you joined so fast. That's insane. How's it going today? I saw that you posted something in the Discord, right? Um, you completed a version of the. Oh, nice. Yeah, I probably should have posted in here. So, um, there we go. Okay, so you posted Remake.js Workbench. So this is all working now? Oh wow, yeah, you rewrote the saving logic. That's cool. I think the saving logic is going to get a lot more complicated soon. Um, so let's see. So I'm gonna, do I fork this or clone it? I think I clone it, right? So I'll go into here, and I think, wait, did you rename? Is this a new? This is a new one, right? Yeah, I don't have Remake.js Workbench, so I'm gonna clone this, and then let's go into it. Remake Workbench, and then let's see. What I'm gonna do is open up a new file. I'm gonna drag this in there and show the sidebar. And I'm gonna actually add a README here because I don't know exactly how to get started with this yet. So I'm gonna document how to get started with it, and then I'm gonna try submitting a pull request with the README. Okay, so let's see. So I have your single file thing here. So there's single file, yeah. So I think this should be, I don't think you changed this repository yet. So I'll pull this. Okay. And then I'm gonna say like, get started. And then I'll just describe the steps. So in here, let's see what we have. We have singlefile.ls. And I forget what you told me earlier. It was a while ago when we were working on this. This was a while ago. Sudo npm install g. Okay. I'm just trying to look, because I know I posted the commands somewhere. Can I do a search here? Okay, I can. So if I do npm install, okay, so it was around here. Oh, maybe it was before this. Oh, man. Okay, well, I'll just follow your instructions. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so... so... Hey, Android, how's it going? Hey, Adonis Walker. Hey, Android 4682. Hey, Cash Bear. Hey, Commander Root. Hey, VNK. Hey, Virgo Pros. How are you guys all doing? So Flipcoder created this cool project, and it's working with Remake. So he's using the Remake.js front-end package for the front end, but then he built his own back end using a really cool project that he just created. And the project is called Single File, and it's meant to be able to, you should be able to write an entire web app, like a back-end Node.js web app, using a single file. So we're gonna test this out. Oh, do you not have, you don't have a git ignore, huh? Or are you not committing the git ignore? We're gonna touch a git ignore, and maybe we'll do a push on this too. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna drag this into here, and we're gonna git ignore node modules, and we're gonna git ignore something else too. Oh no, package lock is fine, I think. Okay, so now if I do git status, okay, good. So according to Flipcoder, if we go into here and we do an npm install -g, so we're going to say cd, so these are the steps, cd into single file. We're going to need to clone single file first, which is something we've already done, but just for anyone getting started, this will be good to have. Single file. Okay, so we're going to copy that. So we're going to clone that, and then cd into it, and then npm install g. This is pretty, I think this is kind of dangerous. I'm not sure. I think it's a little dangerous because you're installing a tool globally on your system, which you can run from anywhere. I don't think it has unlimited permissions though. Yeah. No, I'm just wondering in general if it's kind of a dangerous command. I mean, I trust Flipcoder, but I'm just saying, like, if other people are running this, they might be more suspicious than otherwise, but maybe not. Maybe that's not even a thing. Okay, so we did the G install, the global install. So now we're going to go back to the Remake.js workbench, and then here, let's look at the git status. Okay, we have the readme, that's all. Okay, so now here we should be able to say single file, I think. Do we need to make anything executable, like chmod anything? So we're going to, single file, is it to do? What is it? Yeah, single file to do.ls. Okay. So okay, so we're going to do chmod plus x. It didn't install globally. Okay. So what do I need to do? Oh, install. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna chmod this, and we're gonna git clone something else too. So this one, and we're gonna cd into this one. Okay. Oh, okay. And I guess we probably have to npm install in here, right? Do we have to npm install not globally inside of single file? Let's just try this, see if it works. Okay, so this isn't working. What am I doing wrong? I guess you also told me to chmod this. I feel like that's the same thing. We'll try it. Nope. So this isn't, these steps aren't working for me. I don't know about that. I feel like we got it working before. Okay. So lsc, let's just see. Okay, yep, that's a command. So we've got lsc, and we're gonna do dot single file, and then single file ls, and then to-do.ls. That looks like it worked. Okay, nice. Hey, welcome Miliardo and Raymond Karsten. I don't know how to say your full name. Raymond Karstensen. Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so I got this error. So we got success. We added a bunch of packages. Unable to find local grunt. So do I need an npm install grunt globally? Let's see, is grunt in here? There's no grunt in here. Well, hey Tade, how's it going? Oh, it should install it globally from here. Well, let's just try it. We'll just do npm install g grunt. And then we'll run this again. Nope. Unable to find local grunt. Let's search for this. From 2014, so hopefully it's a solved issue. I'll just go to the one with the most thumbs up. You need to install grunt locally. So maybe it's the grunt CLI that we need? Although wait, I thought that was in this one. No, it's not. Yeah, it might be the grunt CLI. Okay, let's try this. Nope. Okay, so the other thing they said is maybe you need to do this. So we're gonna do this. Ay. Okay, high severity vulnerabilities. Great. That should be fine though, I think, to run on local. Nope. Still nothing. What the heck? I did this. Okay. We need a grunt file? Do we have a grunt file? We do. Grunt file.js. I mean, it's working for you, so that shouldn't be the problem, right? Try npm install grunt CLI inside of single file. But I have it globally installed. Okay, we'll do that. So we're gonna install this in there. Or wait, that was already in there, right? Grunt CLI save dev. Okay, so we'll do that, and now let's go back here and try running this again. Babel command not found. Oh man, dude, this is crazy. There's so many commands we've run that I think you should include them in the repository. Okay, so this is, we ran this inside of here. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll put this here for now, and then yeah, I think that would be good, because like I really shouldn't have to run any of these. And I think this one didn't do anything, so I'm gonna remove that. And then I'm gonna put this command instead. Where is it? This one. Because I don't think the global thing's working out right now. I think if you get that working, that'd be great. But it's not working right now. Okay, so we'll do that. Then we'll do single file. So we're just going to separate out these different sections. So we're going to say like clone single file and this project. Then we're going to say install single file. I don't know what the right wording for this is. I think this is everything we did. And deps. And then we're going to say like install devs for this project, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to, and then for the last one, we're going to say run this project. Okay. You don't need an npm install for this one? Because are you saying it runs automatically? This command npm installs for you? Okay. Okay, so we'll remove that. I think it is a little bit confusing for people. I mean, obviously you're still working on this, and this is a new project. You know, the single file thing, but it is a little bit hard. It's not that hard actually. I don't know. This part this is confusing for me that you're saying you don't have to npm install here, because I think if someone downloads a project and they see that it has a package JSON, they're automatically going to think, oh, it is? Oh, okay. Okay, if that's the case, then I think it's nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, that's cool. And you have a git ignore set up, right? So that's going to ignore it. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's nice then. Okay, so let's go back here. What did we run into? Babel is not found. So do we need to install Babel somewhere? I guess probably in here. So anyone just following along, Flipcoder, a member of this, a member of chat, has been working on a project related to Remake.js for a while, and also kind of his their own project. So we're experimenting with that, trying to get it running locally, and after that, we're going to get back to working on Remake and building out the app from yesterday. But I just want to see if we can get this running, because it's pretty exciting. It's a pretty exciting project. I really like the idea behind it. So grunt grunt failed again. That's weird, right? Because I feel like we just got past that error. I don't know. I don't think I can really work on this anymore. I really do like this idea though. But maybe Flipcoder, maybe what you could do, yeah, but maybe what you could do is, you're on Linux, right? I think you can, yeah. I mean, I think even if you just tried to get it working on a different Linux virtual machine, you know, that might be good. But I think if you can can VirtualBox run on Linux? Yeah, I think so. You got it working. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, even just documenting those steps for the Linode would be good. But yeah. I don't know how. Huh? What? How is this legal? Is this legal? That's crazy. Is that legal? Well, maybe you could use this. I don't know. Okay, nice. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I would love to get this working, honestly. But yeah, I guess, how do I do this? So I think, yeah, let's, I just want to submit this README just as kind of a starting point. You don't have to merge it in if you don't want to, but I think it might be a good starting point for you to like work off of, to create some documentation on how to get started. So let's see. I'm going to undo that commit. I'm going to say, yeah, you might want to, here, I'll add these to the git ignore also. Wait, I could have sworn this was a bigger git ignore file before. Oh, it's just truncated. Okay, got it. Okay, so starting point for this, I got rid of this. Okay, so added readme. And I'm gonna, wait, how do I do this? I have to, Actually, I've done a PR before, but I had to follow very specific instructions. Um, like I do PRs at work all the time, but I don't have to like check out and then, I don't know, how would I do it differently? So git clone and then fork. Maybe this will be good. Oh, okay. I need to fork it first. So if I just clone it, I can't, what can I do from there? Git fork after clone. Yeah. Okay, well. Okay, so I have to go here, and then fork it, and then here. Okay, then we're gonna clone this. Git clone. So that's gonna interfere with what we already have. So I guess we can. No, we don't want to. We don't want to remove it because it has our current stuff in here. We'll copy our README over, and we'll copy our git ignore over. That's okay. I'll just remove this. That's fine. Workbench. Okay. And now we're gonna git clone. Oops, shit. Okay, I know what I'm doing. We're gonna git clone and we're gonna do this one. Huh. Permission denied. But it's from me. Git clone. Huh, that's really weird. Because I could clone yours. Ay, ay, ay. I definitely removed the original. Oh, maybe it recreated it? No. I mean, that shouldn't matter anyways, right? Let's see. Do we have remake workbench? We don't. We don't have it there. It's not a folder. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I could, oh shoot. Let's go into here. Maybe for some reason, yeah, that's very weird. that I can do it in this program, but I can't. That's weird. That's something I have to fix. But for now, that's fine. So we'll go into Remake.js Workbench, and let's drag that into here. And somehow I messed up this. I don't know where this came from. What is this? I don't know why that's there. Yeah, okay, looks like I didn't mess it up too bad. Okay, so then in here, we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it readme.md, and we're going to copy what we put in there earlier. And then we're going to just copy our gitignore over this gitignore, and we're good. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we'll just say like added a readme. Then we're going to commit and push. Yeah, I copied them over. No, I copied them over to like separate files just to make sure they didn't go away. Because I think I have Sublime set to like automatically update the file if it changes. So I don't never want to risk that. Okay, so, oh shoot. I should have done a feature branch. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I can still do it, right? I can still do it, because it's, yeah, let's do it the right way. I want to do it the right way. So I'll do git checkout, and I'll say readme. And so this should have the latest stuff. And then I'm going to do... Very weird. So, but this one can do it. This is very frustrating. So my command line is like desynced from my I don't know, what do you call this? Like a WYSI... It's not a WYSIWYG, but whatever. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, anyways, we did the new branch, we pushed it to GitHub. So now we're gonna go in here. We should have readme. And then we're gonna do a pull request. To master? Yeah, no problem, Flipcoder. Okay. And we're gonna do this, I think. If you feel like you get closer to the right commands to run, let me know and I'll try again. Maybe not today, but maybe next time I stream. Oh, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know yet, I'm not going to be streaming next week. I have a wedding to go to. I really would rather stream, but yeah. Yeah, it's weird that it's such a big difference. Okay, cool. So I did this, and now you have a pull request. And I like a really good pull request that has no description. But it doesn't really need one. It's self-documenting. I think this is your first pull request. Woohoo! Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, I've been wanting to try this. This seems like the coolest thing I've come across in a while, and I think everyone should try it out. So let me show you what it is. So, okay, nice. So I came across this on Reddit the other day. Yeah, I found it on cool GitHub projects. Yeah, it's really cool. So you can, so basically this tab in your browser will act like a web host. I have no idea what that means or how it works. I mean, I kind of get what it means. Like, it's going to respond to HTTP requests and send back the data that's required to anyone who requests it. But as far as how it's implemented or whatever, I have no idea. But it looks like we can just drag and drop a folder here, and we can start hosting. So I'm going to try it. Let's see. Oh, and it's hosted using itself. So like this website is hosted, I think, using host yourself. It's actually a really funny repo. They're like, here's an example where I use host yourself to host itself. I use wget to download host yourself and then host yourself from hostyourself.com, hostyourself.com/host yourself. Happy 9th anniversary inception. Pretty funny stuff. I actually don't know if it's still hosted by this method. He probably uses a regular web host, but still pretty cool. So let's drag and drop a folder or select a file. Okay, so let's do it. Let's just create like an index HTML file, because I just want to try this out. This seems like a super cool project. So we're going to just do index HTML, and we're going to say HTML5 starter, and we're going to just copy this, because, you know, having valid HTML is great. And we're going to say hello world, and we'll delete this stuff. Yeah, we don't really need a style sheet right now. Okay, and here we're just going to say h1 hello world. Okay, and then we're going to go to the website, and I don't know what this domain name thing means, but let's just leave it and then we'll see what it means. So we're going to drag this here. Okay, cool. So now if you go to this domain name, this is so cool. Isn't this like the coolest thing ever? Guys, look. So you can go there and you can see my website that I just made. And I'm hosting it from this tab. So I can see when you guys connect. Files served. This is like the coolest thing. Isn't this the coolest, like, hackiest, awesomest thing? Someone just connected. That's so cool. Okay, let's, I don't know, I guess we don't really have... But you could do so many things with this. I mean, I guess it's not like really like, you wouldn't really want to host a real project using this, but like, you could. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Just like have a bunch of browser tabs open. And like host a bunch of like static websites. And it loads pretty fast, you know? Although I think it's going through this relay, right? Of like hostyourself.com, and I think all that does is just pass the data to the tab. And I think you can set up your own relay right here. So if you wanted to create like your own host yourself, that makes it so you don't have to open ports. Yeah, because I guess it's just passing it through WebSockets, right? How is this possible? When the server you point at gets a request for a web page, the server turns back and asks you for that content and will use what you provide for the original request. And it uses WebSockets in your browser to process GET requests or GET commands. That's pretty cool. So let's host something like useful here. What is this? No, I want the, oh man. I want the top 100. We'll pick a random one. Actually, not random, because I was thinking Don Quixote. We'll get no images, and let's inspect the source. Okay. So we're going to just get the inner HTML, and we're going to copy that, and we're going to put that into the body. I wonder if this is legal. Can I copy? Let's see what this says. This ebook is for the use of anyone, anywhere, at no cost, with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away, or reuse it under the terms with this ebook. Okay, so it looks like it's legal. I'm going to assume that means it's legal. Okay, so let's save that. And now if I reload this, will it reload? What's up? I'm hosting Don Quixote. This is a really good book, by the way. If anyone hasn't read it, it's really good. Really, really, really fun. And silly. And weird. Yeah. So, that's pretty cool. We're hosting Don Quixote. Let's see, are you guys reading it? You guys should really catch up on your summer reading, you know? Of what befell Don Quixote with certain goat herds. Of the freedom Don Quixote conferred on several unfortunates, who against their will were being carried where they had no wish to go. Oh, that's funny. He like frees some prisoners who are like gonna be taken to jail, and they're like bad guys, but he frees them. Cool. This is awesome. I can't believe like it was that simple. Okay, cool. So we looked at that project. I guess I'll leave this tab open for now, for anyone who wants to read Don Quixote from an unreliable web host. You know what I wonder? So you know how Chrome is doing like that background processing thing? You know, like they like delay JavaScript from running in tabs that aren't active. I like hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. It's like so opinionated about like the way you're browsing, you know, and it's like, it's so stupid. But anyways, I bet that makes the web host slower when I put this in the background, because I mean, it's using JavaScript, right? At some level, probably, to respond to the GET requests. So if that's, maybe it's only timer functions that are delayed in Chrome. I'm going to actually look that up. Background tabs, slower, Chrome. Okay. Wait. Let's look. No, it's not cached. Every request goes to that tab. As a feature, not a bug. Let's see. No, let's go to the official docs. Okay. So background tabs can have a dramatic negative effect on browser performance. Fuck you, Chrome. Especially on battery life. To mitigate this, Chrome has been placing various restrictions on background tabs for the last several years. Recently, there's been a number of efforts to make further improvements, and this document gives an overview of the Chrome policy. This document focuses on describing current policies in Chrome 57. Long-term strategy and further plans can be found in this document. Fuck you, Chrome. Optimizing an application for background. Web developers should be aware that users often have a lot of tabs open in the background and can have serious effect on power usage and battery life. Work in the background should be kept to a minimum unless it's absolutely necessary to provide a particular user experience. The Page Visibility API should be used to detect when the page is backgrounded and suspend all unnecessary work like visual updates. For some sites, this simple optimization can reduce CPU usage by as much as 75%. Yeah, whatever. Okay, per the documentation, Chrome does not call request animation frame when the page is in the background. Background timer alignment. So like, okay, the reason why this sucks, like honestly, is because a lot of games are based around request animation frame. And like, let's say you are like playing a game and your character's just doing something automated, right? They're just like chopping wood and you've set them on this path to just like chop through a whole forest. You switch to another tab, all of a sudden that your character's going to stop doing that. It's just like, it's so opinionated from Google and from Chrome to like put this kind of stuff where like people, not only do they not expect it, it's not like a good user experience, it also gets in the way of like future possibilities. You know, like this web server thing, right? Like if they're throttling that, you know, they're like limiting future companies from doing cool things with the web browser. So since Chrome 11, each independent timer is run no more than once per second. Chrome runs these timers in batches once a second, ensuring that the number of process wake-ups is kept to a minimum. So any like set timeout or set interval is going to be run once per second. Budget-based background timer throttling. Okay, so that's timer again. And you can disable it with like a super special flag. And let's see. Future plans. Explicit opt-outs. Suspend all tasks on mobile. Throttling non-timer tasks. This is crazy. Only timer tasks. Loading tasks are not throttled to avoid regressing load time in background tabs. We plan to explore ways of throttling loading tasks as well as maintain the ability for pages to load efficiently in background tabs. Jeez. Throttling web workers. Suspend all background tabs. This is crazy. Fully pause a tab in the background after n minutes unless a web developer states that the tab should continue to run via an explicit opt-out. Remove the opt-out and pause all pages. So they're going to have an opt-out up until 2020, so you can opt out of it as like a sentient human being, and then they're going to remove that opt-out and not give you any control over it once they decide that the web platform provides the APIs needed for major use cases. This is Chrome saying, we know better than you, you have to use our APIs, and if you don't, your page isn't going to work correctly, and so welcome to hell, web developers. Now you have to keep up with Chrome's features and updates, or your site might randomly break at some time in 2020 or 2018 or 2019 or whatever. That's crazy. I mean, so to be fair to them, I know this is all coming from like a good place. You know, like you have mobile devices, you have iPhones, you have iPads, and they're going to run out of batteries super quickly if you're running tabs in the background. I understand where it's coming from, but from a hacker, you know, perspective, from like an independent kind of web developer, programmer perspective, I like to have control over the technology that I use, and like this shit is enough to get me to switch browsers. Like this is insane to me that like I have a tab open, that's my choice. You know, like I want the thing in that tab to be running. I don't know. I've probably lost a few viewers from this rant, but I think it's crazy. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it. You know, like if you're building a game, you've definitely noticed it. If you play web games, you've probably noticed it. If you ever, I don't know, have something running in another tab and you're wondering like when you go back to it why it's gone so slowly, you've noticed it. But as long as it doesn't affect Gmail or YouTube or Google search, Google's fine with it. So that's the future. That's the future. Google is the internet, and they know it, because if you look at Chrome's market share, They know they own the fucking internet. 66%. I appreciate that, ice cream codes. I'm gonna stop yelling about it now. I kind of feel like an asshole for yelling about it so much. It was just like, it's super annoying to me. I feel like it's really stopping the web's progress to like exert so much control over the browsing experience. But it really is coming from a good place, and I'm sure like I haven't noticed the effects, totally, and like they've probably been a lot of positive effects for me, like where my batteries lasted longer, or my phone battery even probably has lasted longer because of these changes. Um, or things have like run faster. Maybe like when I'm opening Photoshop or something, it's opening faster because of all these awesome changes Chrome is making. So I don't know. I appreciate that it's coming from a good place. I just think that sometime in the next couple years, there's going to be a big divergence between like web developers or like hacker culture and like the normal culture. Because like I want a button. I want a button that says like, don't fuck with my browser, and just turn that shit on. And then your health record system is browser based and many clinicians use multiple tabs. Yeah. So are you doing like processing in those tabs in the background? Okay, so let's get to the main work of today. So the main work of today is this. So this little file over here on the right, and this little file over here on the left. Yeah, that's unfortunate, ice cream codes. I think that, yeah, you should probably tell your users to open up the Chrome, the special Chrome flags, and enable the special flags that allow background processing, because that's Google's solution for you. What a horrible, horrible thing. That sucks though. Yeah, I think it affects so many people, and I think Chrome. What did Chrome do that pissed me the f off so much? They did this thing. Oh, it was like so annoying. I actually have to look. So they got a lot of flack for that, and I think they're not doing it anymore. Okay, let's see. What? This is crazy. So people have reported the developer tools as a bug, and they go into the password field. Hey Solvin, how's it going? This is hilarious. So according to this report, users have reported the same Chrome bug 43 times. It's the Chrome developer tools, and this is the bug. The user enters a password inside a password field. They open developer tools and locate the password field code. They changes the password field code by changing the type from password to text, and now Chrome displays the password field as readable text. And they report this bug. That's hilarious. That's crazy. That's awesome. But there's this other bug. I think so, yeah. No. Where's the Chrome, like, bug report forum. Okay, here it is. So there was one bug, I forgot what it was. Yeah, don't try it on stream. They said they just weren't gonna fix it. What was it? Because they knew better. Actually, I don't know why I'm looking at this. I should be just working on Remake. But for some reason, this is kind of fun. I wish I could get... Oh, what is this? M? What is M, though? It doesn't tell me. What is M? It's not going to tell me? Nope. It's just going to be M. Okay. Let's sort down. It's true. But this time I've kind of distracted myself. So it's not anyone's fault but me. Huh. Voice search. I wonder what this means, what the M means. The probably means priority. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Da, 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 dun, da, dun, da. What do you guys think M means? Do you think it means like the number of comments? This doesn't look like 71 comments. Or wait, oh whoa, look at these comments. Wait, what? No. Is this 16 of 61,000? No. Oh, it is. It's that many messages. 61,000 messages. Crashes on Java. Wait. No, wait. That's just the bug reports, right? Okay. This interface, by the way, is hard to use. They should switch to something else, I think. I don't know. Maybe it works for some people. Okay, but there's some bug that Chrome won't fix, and they're total dicks about it. What is the bug? Okay, I'm gonna block my screen just for a second. Secrets. Because I have to open up my work chat, because I remember I ran across this bug at work. I don't know why I feel like venting today, but I feel like venting today. So I'm gonna search for Chrome bug in yeah, in my work chat. Okay. Maybe not. Huh. I guess it's not here. Yep. Secrets. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe I search for something else. I'll search for won't fix. Oops, won't fix. Nope. Ah, man. This is so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna close my work chat, come back. Okay, so I'm gonna search for won't fix in Chrome. I'm really getting stuck on this issue, but uh, okay, so let's see. So let's just go on an anti-Chrome rant. Not really. We're just gonna research like some Chrome stuff. So there's an ongoing issue on the Chromium bug tracking forums where a mass of users were asking for an autoplay bug to be fixed, and the bugs file for it kept getting closed as won't fix. The issue is that the user can no longer have media open in the background tab's autoplay. For example, if you right-click a YouTube video and open it in a new tab, you'll have to click that new tab before it starts playing. This behavior was changed so that you had to enable it via the flag. Recently the flag was broken, and it no longer is a suitable workaround to allow users to make media autoplay. A bunch of users keep commenting and opening bugs asking for this to be fixed, but a few specific Chromium developers on the bug tracking site keep closing these bugs without providing any solution fix workaround, and in some cases, they're just closing the bugs without comments. What can we do? How can we hold the devs accountable? There is a clear demand for a fix. Okay, that's interesting. Let's go here. Remote code execution. Who cares about remote code execution, right? Well, I'm sure it's very annoying for some people who like have video apps or something. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, the text is huge. Let's see. Oh, you're right. Thank you. I don't know why that keeps happening. Is that better? Smaller? Okay. So like there? Okay, nice. So, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this. I'm gonna just let it go for now. Should I? No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I think it's fine most of the time. But you know, like as developers, there's sometimes like very specific use cases, very specific things we want to do. Yeah. No, I think Chrome's kind of right. You know, like for 90% of use cases, it's probably the right call to block the autoplay there. But I could imagine like some developers being super frustrated by that. And I think, you know, it would be kind of nice to like give the developer a choice about it. You know, like I don't know what the use case would be exactly, where you'd want a bunch of videos to autoplay in the background, or even just one. It's hard to think of. Yeah. Yeah. I guess, okay, like, I guess YouTube would be a good example. Like, sometimes I want to open a YouTube, like, song or something. Yeah, I guess song. The song would be a good example. So if you have, like, a media player, and the way it works is you click a link and it opens up a tab, a different tab for some reason, and then it plays that song, it plays the song there. Or like YouTube, for example. Sometimes I'm browsing YouTube and I want to like open the tab and have it play. But it's not like a super big deal because what I do is I just focus the window, have that one play, and then go back to the main window. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah. I don't, but there's probably some random use case, right? Where some developer is like, this is essential for my application to work, and, they're not budging on it. And I can imagine how that would be frustrating, because if there's just nothing the developer can do, that kind of stinks. So I'm going to go into secrets again, because I still haven't given up on finding the Chrome bug. Yeah. Yeah, it probably is. You're probably right about that. Um, okay. Okay, so we're gonna do, I'm in my task management program for work. Um, because I'm still searching for this Chrome bug. Um, okay. So Solvin, you might not think that the other one is a good hill to die on, but, or what's the phrase? Hill to die on. Not a hill I want to die on. So yeah, so I'm gonna give you a good one. Okay, so autocomplete off is ignored on non-login input elements. So, um, so if you have a form element, like a search or something, they have autocomplete turned on by default. So anything you've previously typed in that search will pop up. And you can't turn that off as a developer. So if you want to implement a custom drop-down or a custom autocomplete, you have to contend with the fact that Chrome is going to constantly try to override that with their own autocomplete field. And there is an HTML attribute for this called autocomplete, and it's valid. And let me read you the most frustrating response you will ever hear. Okay, maybe not. Maybe you won't be as annoyed by this as I am. But this really gets to me. Okay, so this is after a ton of responses. If you look at these responses, there's a ton of people here all saying stuff, and then they close this issue right after their response. And their response is, first of all, thanks for everyone's feedback on this. I apologize for our delay in clarifying our stance. We've been working to finalize our policy regarding autofill and autocomplete attribute, and we've been making changes to this over the past few months, as some of you have noticed. First and foremost, autofill in Chrome exists to help our everyday users get through common forms, address forms, contact forms, checkout forms, etc., across the web. This has become especially important on mobile devices, where typing on virtual keyboards is both difficult. Okay, so now I'm sounding like a jerk because he's actually making a good point and being nice, right? So on mobile devices where typing on virtual keyboards is difficult and annoying. Autofill tries to make the experience better, and it's used millions of times per day by Chrome users. The tricky part here is that somewhere along the journey of the web, autocomplete equals off became a default for many form fields, without any real thought being given as to whether or not that was good for users. Okay, so this part really, I'm a developer, I'm developing a website, I'm developing software, I should be able to choose the experience, even if it's worse for my users. You, Chrome, shouldn't be able to go into my website and change things because you think it's better. I get it, they're the browser, they're the interface, but still, I think there's a line, and I think they're crossing it here. Okay, so they're saying that they're advocating for the users, whereas the developers aren't advocating for the users in the way that Chrome approves of, right here. So they're saying the tricky part here is that somewhere along the journey of the web, autocomplete off became a default for many form fields without any real thought. That part so gets me. Okay. Without any real thought being given to as whether or not that was good for users. this doesn't mean there aren't very valid cases where you don't want the browser autofilling data, for example on CRM systems, but by and large we see those as minority cases, and as a result we started ignoring autocomplete off for Chrome autofill data. We don't just ignore the autocomplete attribute, however. In the WHATWG standard, we defined a series of new autocomplete values that developers can use to better inform the browser about what a particular field is, and we encourage developers to use those types. In cases where you really want to disable autofill, our suggestion at this point is to utilize the autocomplete attribute to give valid semantic meaning to your field. If we encounter an autocomplete attribute that we don't recognize, we won't try to fill it. As an example, if you have an address input field in your CRM tool and you don't want Chrome to autofill, you can give it semantic meaning that makes sense relative to what you're asking for. Autocomplete equals new user street address. If Chrome encounters that, it won't try and autofill the field. We encourage developers to take advantage of autofill. We announced during the Chrome Dev Summit 2015 that when autofill is enabled, we see 25% more forms submitted than when it's disabled. Users find high value in autofill. But the thing is, I think I tried this, and I don't think they respect it anymore. Let me turn on secrets again. I'm gonna just go back to my work tasks that involve this, and yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I think that even if you give it a custom name, it still is going to autocomplete it, because I think I tried it. Okay, all that said, we're still learning, so we would like to better understand your use cases for setting autocomplete off. To have the conversation in a more focused manner, I've created a new bug. We're going to try and keep that conversation focused and productive, so we want to avoid +1s and the like. I'll be closing this in the meantime. Okay, so now let's go to the new bug, and let's go to the bottom. Yep. So I think it's still not working. So in 2019, I think they even turned off their officially stated solution for it. I'm pretty sure. So they just think that they know better. And so they're overriding developers' preferences. Yeah, it's super annoying. I think this is the way the web's going, though, because Chrome has control of the browser, they have control of the internet, and they know it, and they're just going to go with it, and they're going to create the internet that's best for them. And that's an internet that, users are clicking more, users are using more, users are submitting more forms, users are loading the web faster. But, those things all might sound great, and they are, honestly. But when you have one priority, which is to make all of your amazing websites better, you're not considering all of the other websites that actually exist and are trying to get by on the internet, and you're not prioritizing them. And when a company owns a browser, and I never used to be passionate about this because I always used to think, oh, Google, they're good guys. But since the travesty that is, what is it called? What is that stupid thing called? The Google faster. What is it called? AMP. Oh my God. If there's one thing they could do that would piss people off the most, they did it with AMP. And it's not like, it pisses me off so so fucking much. If they made it a standard, and it was it was like, surveyed by Firefox and Mozilla and Microsoft and like all these other companies, and everyone agreed to it, I'm totally fine with that. It's just the fact that they think it's the best way to load pages quickly, right? Which it is. I mean, like, honestly, pages do load a lot faster, but they're changing the browser experience. They're forcing developers to change their practices. They're saying, do things our way. They're not getting it approved by a standards body. They're just going with it. There's been developer uproar around it, and they've said, oh yeah, that's pretty minimal. It's not really widespread. Like, people love this, users love this. And it's just like that kind of asshole designer at your work that just says like users, 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 and like everything about the users. And I used to be that asshole designer, so I know what I'm talking about. And it's just, there's other priorities in the world. Like, you can say users, 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 and you can make the site load fast and make everything great for the users. But at the end of the day, there's other priorities. There is marketing departments, and there are sales departments, and there are advertising departments, and there are, business concerns, and there are, other things that we're trying to negotiate. And if you're building Google's web, right, Google's version of the web, you're not as focused on those other things. Like, imagine you're trying to create a new, I don't know, it just like, it frustrates me so much that Google thinks that they can just create web standards now, and that's okay. It's not okay, It's not okay. And I really think they're going to suffer for it in the coming years. I think they're going to lose a lot of market share and a lot of power. I mean, I can't wait until the next search engine comes along, and it's like an AI, based search engine that's better than Google's. And or even something better, like, I could imagine one day not having to like open up a new tab and type in some query that is uniquely formatted for Google, and just say like, hey computer, show me how to do this, and it just like pops up the right answer. I could imagine that, and I could imagine that not being Google, and I hope it's not Google. Oh man, okay, I don't know, I'm just pissed off. Okay, I've let off enough steam today. Enough steam. I hope I didn't lose too many people. I probably did. Yeah, I probably did. Okay, that's okay though. Okay, so the thing we're gonna work on today, in the remaining time, which is probably like another half an hour. I don't know. Maybe I'll go for longer. Maybe I'll go for a couple hours. Who knows? But I worked on this project yesterday after the stream yesterday. Yeah. Oh, amp. Jeez. So. Yeah. Man, I might need to get some coffee for that. Also, I have my mother's coming over for dinner tonight, and I have to clean the house and start dinner. So I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's annoying too. It's super annoying. It's just Google stealing from people, really. Like, I know the internet's open and everything, but like, if you're just taking an answer from a web page and putting it on your web page, I think that's kind of stealing. And yeah, it is pretty impressive how smart the Google search engine has become to be able to like pick up those snippets automatically. But it's still, I think, not right, you know? Like, the internet's naturally going to get faster, and like, sorry Google that it's not faster for you, like, fast enough, but it's not your right to just like force people, to do things your way in order to get the best. Because the thing is, I would understand if like AMP was just coming from a good place, like if AMP was just like some solo developer being like, hey, use this new standard and your page will load faster, that would be awesome. But it's not some like project made to better the web, and Google's claiming that it is. They'll like go back to it with their developer advocates spewing out the same shit over and over again, saying, oh yeah, we just want to make the web better for users, that's all we want. They don't. They want they want their pages to load faster, they want their search results to be better, and so they put out this new standard, AMP, and they know that developers know if they want their news site or their website to be featured higher on Google, they should use AMP. And it's this custom technology, so it's not something that Bing is going to use right out of the gate. It's not something that DuckDuckGo is going to use right out of the gate. And so Google's going to have a head start at having the fastest websites. And that's good for them, because every website connected to Google is basically Google. It's like when you go on Facebook and you click on the Messages tab, if that loads quickly, that's a reflection of Facebook. If a website that Google's recommending loads quickly, that's a recommendation of Google. That reflects well on Google. And Google knows that. And so instead of just surfacing the best content no matter what, they're also taking page speed into consideration, which I don't blame them about. They should do that. They have their priorities. But then on top of that, they're also forcing existing, publishers to use what they want. And then, they don't give you any info about the user when the data pops out at the top. And then the thing is, their advertising network is compatible with AMP, whereas other advertising networks have to adapt in order to make their network compatible with AMP. So all of a sudden, Google's advertising network gets this huge boost because it's compatible, whereas other technologies aren't. And so they're using this false reasoning. They're using this false reasoning of saying, oh, we just want it to be better for the users, in order to say, it's like Trump, right? With the most recent thing shot down by the Supreme Court. So Trump, not to get too political, but like it was actually the Supreme Court's reason that like he wasn't using an honest reason. And yeah, I'll stop there with that. But basically the Supreme Court just said like, you're not being honest about the reasoning. You're trying to include this question in the census. Come back with a better reason. And I think it's the same thing for me with AMP. If they were honest, if they either tried to get it through a standards body or they were honest about it, and they said, hey, we need to make all the websites faster so that people using Google are happier and so that we make more money, that would be fine. But selling it as, oh, we just want the web to be better is so stupid. And it gives them such a competitive advantage. And they're just milking it for as much as they can. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think Google's going to keep doing that, I think they're going to keep doing that until it bites them. It's like Facebook, right? Like Facebook was just like, give everyone the data. I know we've talked about this before, and we ended with talking about Nazis or something, I think. So yeah, let's not get into that. But yeah. So yeah, that's always been tech culture, though. It's always been the tech startup culture. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our other project from yesterday. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, yeah. It like The thing is, I honestly don't think it's a problem with the company. I think it's a problem with like the policy and the culture. You know, like that capitalism rewards that behavior. You know, like if you see, you know, gold, right? And you rush to get it and you push everyone else aside and you like violently, you know, try to get it. That makes sense in a capitalistic system, you know? It's just about the rewards and about the attitudes that are acceptable. And they're, you know, they're doing everything within that. Um, yeah. And I think Google's actually been a pretty good citizen compared to a lot of other companies, you know? Yeah, they removed don't be evil. That really was disappointing. And then like when they did that big stand saying that they weren't going to go into China, and then they buckled and said they weren't going to go into China, that was really disappointing too. I was so proud of them when they said they weren't going to go into China for like moral, ethical reasons, and then it turned out that didn't exist, that they didn't really care. That's just like so disappointing because it's like if like we expect you to care, like you don't have to hide it. You can care about money. You're a company, right? But the fact that they pretended to be moral and then realized that it wasn't working for their balance sheet, that shit is frustrating. Um, yeah. I don't know, but as a company, like, what's the right solution, right? Like, I mean, okay, let's say you guys own, like, multinational company. And, you know, it was growing every year. It was growing, you know, 10 or 15% every year. And your investors were like, okay, we got to grow 15% every year. Would you go into China, you know, if they wanted to censor, you know, your news site or whatever? You would? You would go into China? And you would let the Chinese government like tell you which articles to remove and which ones that could stay. Um, it's an interesting question. You'd go into any huge market to keep adding money. I didn't expect that from you, Salvin. If I was a multinational with annoying investors. Huh. So, huh. Well, I think it's an interesting question. I don't think I would just do it. I think there would be negotiations. Wait, did Solvin say that or Ice Cream Codes? Yeah. I really didn't expect that from Solvin. Because I think you were arguing against Facebook. And then you were arguing against like the culture of like do it at any cost. Well, that's the thing though, is Google, so in Google's initial public offering, they have this statement in that document that says, we're going to do whatever the F we want. They literally say that. They're like, we're in this for the long term. We don't care about short term gains. We're not going to run this like a normal company. We're going to do whatever the F we want. We own 51% of this company. If you still want to invest knowing that, then you can invest. So they're not bound by the normal rules of a company, you know, where it's profit at any cost and where shareholders can sue them, you know, if if they don't pursue profit at any cost, because they literally have that in their founding document, you know? You do the, wait. No, but if you were you yourself, but you ran a multinational, would you still cave? I mean, I think it's smart what Google did to have that in there. You don't agree with the censorship in China, but I think if I had a content company, then I would likely have a different outlook on the situation. Yeah, no, totally. Because you're talking about like feeding the families of the people that are working for you. You know, like it's a totally different perspective. Like it's not a question of like, you know, do I want to do this? You know, I mean, it's partly the moral question, right? But it's hard to look people in the eyes and say, you know, hey, you're not going to be able to, you know, I don't know. I don't know what you're even saying to people at that point. You're probably mostly surrounded by millionaires. So you're like, sorry, we're going to have to delay your trip to Mars for a couple years because we're not going to go into China. Yeah, they censor in the US too, but only by law, I think, right? Um, okay, so let's go into these templates. Let's go into our story, and our story choice. So they should censor more than they do? What? Solvin, is this really Solvin? Wait, why do you think they should censor more than they do? Because so you don't want like conspiracy theories and stuff to be in Google? Okay, so I'm going to get into focus mode soon, guys. We can finish up this conversation though in the next 5 minutes. And then I'm going to get into focus mode. Because some really bad, horrible stuff is too easily accessible to people who are in mentally vulnerable places. Yeah. I don't know. So, like, I am definitely, I like kind of grew up on the internet, and I've seen a lot of stuff. Like, I've seen a lot of bad stuff, and I would describe myself as like mentally vulnerable at times. But I still think it was good, you know. Like, I wouldn't really take back seeing that stuff. Um, but I mean, I think for some people, okay, so like for me, like I think like there's some communities that are, but I think that's, I don't know, I think that's a choice. I don't know, it's kind of like a good thing. You know, like if you're feeling really outcast and then you have a group of other outcasts to go to, I think that's good because you at least feel that camaraderie. You don't feel completely alone and isolated. And then like maybe later you realize you were being an asshole and that, you know, it makes, and that like you were bringing on a lot of this stuff onto yourself as far as, you know, pushing people away. But I think some people need that, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a good question. But I mean, I would rather the KKK or neo-Nazi, I don't know. They're terrible organizations, like honestly. But I think it's good that it's hard to say. It's not like, I don't know. It's weird to be live streaming and like have this stuff archived because I don't want to like say something insensitive. Uh, you know, because like I'm very privileged the life I've had. You know, so you know it's but I think from like a wider perspective, I think it's good that that hate groups exist because then at least we have like we know that that can exist. You know, like I think the minute you just like wipe hate groups out, you're saying that level of hate or that level of, you know, outcastedness is just not acceptable. And then you get people conforming out of fear. And it affects other people. You know, it affects people that hate those hate groups. It affects people that hate being stuck in situations that are um, really tough. Yeah, but I think it's like seeing it's like being able to see, like a wart or a pimple on your skin. You'd rather have that than have something deeper, some kind of deeper problem that you can't see and that you can't address. I don't know. I really don't. So, like, okay. I think therapists are very well meaning people that make you feel even more alone. uh, it's just the dynamic of the therapist is I'm here to help you solve your problems. I'm here to. It's just a dynamic that's impossible to get around. You either have a friend or you have someone on the same level as you who's going through the same shit, or you have this person who's like looking down at you from above. And I think that dynamic just creates more turmoil for anyone who's going through something difficult. I don't think you can just throw more therapists at a problem and it'll solve it. Like I think if you sat a bunch of therapists down with a bunch of neo-Nazis, I don't think you'd get anywhere. But I don't think that dynamic works. I think that you need actually other human beings that are going through the same shit as you sometimes in order to work through a problem. Yeah, they're humans too, though. You're 12 or 16 years old. I mean, I think it's natural to think of them as like, oh, they don't know the full world or whatever. But they're going through the same shit that adults are going through. Hey, Ice Cream Coz, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. It's easier to make groups and talk about issues at that age. Yeah, but I think even kids at that age... Oh, nice. I think even kids at that age do need some place where they can just completely be themselves. You sit them down in a classroom and you say, tell us exactly how you're feeling. They're not going to say that they, hate a certain race because of, that some person took their father's job. They're not going to get into those like full feelings of rage or hate because they're not going to feel like they can accept them with themselves because of the community that they're in. But if you have some online community where they can go and they can say, they can just get out all of those feelings. I don't know, there's this beautiful, beautiful article that I read the other day on, I think it was the New York, no, it wasn't the New York Times. Leftist propaganda, right? New York Times. No, but I actually really like the New York Times. But there's one article where, like, this mother lets her son join the alt-right and go to an alt-right event, and it's really good. It's really a beautiful article. I don't know why I'm talking about this on a web development stream, but her 13-year-old son wanted to go to a meeting of alt-right people, and it's just like such a really, really good article. She lets him go, and he, like, through that, he's able to get to know the people in the group and like what they're going through, and like he understands kind of like what he's going through, and then he's able to like come out of it through that. But if you guys are interested in my thoughts about this, I don't know. I mean, this kind of informed my thoughts. I don't think it's always right, but to do it this way, but I think it's an argument for freedom and leniency and letting people explore their ideas instead of trying to like cut them off before they go too deep. Like I think letting people go deep and really see what yeah, it is really cool. It's really accurate too, because I think that's kind of how you feel on the internet sometimes, right? Like it just like envelops you, that's how I feel sometimes. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, Nazis are terrible. All hate groups are terrible. I personally wish they didn't exist. But I think it's, it's it's a good sign for a culture that they can exist. I'll leave it at that. I think it's a good sign for a healthy culture. And I think Google censoring results, I don't believe in that. I think Google should censor fewer results. Because I think it's good to like explore your mind and your humanity and really, figure out your full ideas about things, And if where you come down is a hateful place, that you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. But I think in the long run, it's a lot better to be kind. I think it's it's just a lot better of a strategy, even if you just look at it that way, you know? Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to express, but yeah, I mean, I think people on both sides need to be willing to fight for what they believe in if it comes down to that. But yeah, ideally, that's not necessary, ever. But I think you need to be willing to fight for it, I think that's part of what defines a moral compass, like if you're only willing to suppress other people's opinions, or you're only willing to call people names, and that's as far as you're willing to go to defend your ideals, then I think your ideals are going to fall by the wayside. But if the world you're trying to fight for is worth fighting for, then I think you probably, have a good idea of what you really want. I think, but you always hope that you never have to go there, that you can talk to someone through kindness. And I think honestly that usually wins, and maybe, I don't know. I think back to sometime, like, would it be possible to defeat something like the Nazis with kindness, Like if you were just like, hey, let's work together, let's get your economic situation settled, like worked out in Germany. Could that could diplomacy have worked if some kind of extra kindness was extended, or did it have to go the way it went? Would violence just overwhelm the world if we let it? Violence and hate, or I don't know. I don't know. You had this hater friend who was a racist, sexist alcoholic. It took a while, but he started to feel empathy towards others. Now he's an LGBT ally. You're gonna make me cry, Solomon. Has black friends, doesn't drink, started to learn other languages. Definitely can. I'm actually tearing up a little bit. Yeah. Modern day neo-Nazis are closer to conspiracy theorists because they think Hitler was a good guy. Less common that they support the Holocaust because they're denialists. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to talk about Hitler and neo-Nazis because it's such a sore subject. Like, you can't talk about that in a productive way ever. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy stuff that we gotta live with, that we don't get to be in denial about that period. Silly neo-Nazis. Yeah, there's a lot of Germans though. I don't know, maybe not a lot, but there's some Germans that deny it, right? Yeah. I mean, so was Flipcoder? Yeah, Flipcoder, you were saying that you were de-escalated this with some people? I think that's really cool. They don't, wait, what? Yeah, I think that's bad. I think that's a bad thing, honestly. I think that Germany is like a scolded little dog right now. and like not the people there, but the country, I think, feels ashamed. It's like cowering in the corner. It's been, disciplined. Um, and I think it feels ashamed of itself. I think Germany in general feels ashamed of itself because of that history. But I think you have to get past that shame, and then I think there's like going to be some anger. Um, and I think that's natural, you know? Yeah, I think shame is never good, Because like it wasn't like like it's so funny that like the people who perpetrated that were racist, and now the world is kind of racist against Germans. Um, and it's like we're doing to you what you did, not what you did, because you didn't do it. You had nothing to do with it. It's not. That's the thing. But it's not a race thing. Like like we have concentration camps in the U.S. right now. Like it's not a German thing, Like just a people thing, Um, yeah, it's just a people thing, But like you guys are taking the brunt of it. It's not fair to your new generations. Although I guess there's some argument to be made, I guess, for shaming a culture that could produce something like that. But I think you guys are so far away from that culture by now. But I don't know, maybe not. If you haven't got over the shame, then probably not over the culture. I wonder if those things are connected. So am I going to do any programming today? Probably not, right? uh, Jeez. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do a focus mode. Anyone talks about neo-Nazis or whatever, I'm just going to ignore. Okay? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I'm going to code. Okay, so yesterday we ran into this problem. Hey Marty, Nick, Ilya, how's it going? I agree, flip coder. Okay, so so we ran into these problems where let's see. Let's go into our adventure story and let's do npm run dev. And let's just get an idea of the problems that we were running into yesterday. Oh, by the way, for anyone who wants to read Don Quixote, I am self-hosting Don Quixote right now. And you can read it here. And you should go to that website and host your own website, because it's pretty cool. Let's see if it's still loading. Oh, wait. This one. Is it still loading? No, because it's in a background tab, it's not loading anymore. No. It broke. I broke it. Okay, let's see. If I refresh, will it work? Oh, host yourself is down. The guy must have shut down his laptop. Host yourself is down. That sucks. Okay, well, oh well. Our self-hosting experiment is over. Oh, it's the coolest project. You gotta check it out. It's so cool. Search for this on GitHub. Here, I'll post it. It's the coolest project ever. It hosts a web server from a browser tab. Okay, so the problem we were running into is if we save the top level story. So if we save this and we have the choices here, those choices, that choice data isn't all going to be there. So we're going to have these, let's see, story choices. And if we go here, we're going to have the ID, the object, and the choice text. But we're not going to have any of the child choices. So we need a way to save to the individual choice. So what we were thinking is we could have the save attribute be on the top level. But the problem with that is if we have it on the top level, so say we just have a flat save at the top level for the, or wait, yeah, for the story, then we're going to save the text there. But then when we add a new story choice, how is that going to trigger? So we're going to save the, we have to save a deep story. So we have to trigger a save deep, but then that's going to overwrite the choices. So the sub choices. So what we decided, or what I decided at the end of the day, is that I want a different save function. So the save function works right now by, you can save to an ID, or you can just do a regular save. And the regular save says, okay, if it's an object that you're passing, we're going to do a deep extend. And what that means is that if you start with, you have to share what? The host yourself thing? That's so good, right? Oh wait, this one. Oh, okay. Thousands of people have taken a Facebook pledge to storm Area 51 to see them aliens. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, well, I hope they try it in a year when Trump isn't president. That would be good. So that they don't all die. I don't know. I guess he hasn't done anything too terrible. Well, no, he has. He has actually done some pretty terrible things. Yeah. Okay, anyways, don't want to be political. Okay, so deep extend, yeah, just a few. Okay, yeah. It's just like the levels of terror. I'm like, he hasn't started any world wars yet. Yeah. Yeah, story adventure. Okay, so deep extend is going to loop through nested objects and extend the objects. So if you know like what extending is for like a regular flat object, it's just going to overwrite the data in object 1 with the data from object 2. A deep extend does that, but with nested objects. Now the problem is when it runs into arrays, it doesn't know what to do. How do you deep extend an array, right? So if you have two arrays and you have one array with like 1, 2, 3, and you have another array with 4, 5, 6, how do you do that? And what they've decided for this library is we'll just overwrite the first array with the second array. Now we run into a problem with this with our code because we want to have these choices down here and this story text up here. And so this is our story text and these are our choices. And these choices are stored in an array. So overwriting them is going to overwrite all of the nested stories, which we don't want. But if we had a special deep extend that didn't overwrite nested arrays and instead extended them by the ID of the object inside of the array, then we would be gold. So if that explains the problem successfully, then I am a genius. But I don't think it probably explained it that well. So I worked this up the other day to explain it. So, so what we're going to try to do is create a deep extend library. And it takes this object and outputs this object. And actually, I want to output. I want to make it a tiny bit more, I can't spell output. I want to make it a tiny bit more complicated. So I want to make this an array, and I want to say like A, B, C. Oops. Oh no. Okay, chat is out of here. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna just temporarily hide it. Okay, so so this will end up like this. Solvin, don't let me forget to raid your channel afterwards. Okay? After this stream. We'll probably only have like 2 viewers after all that political rambling. But that's okay. You're welcome. Okay, so what we're going to do here... We have more? We have more? We do? Ooh, it says 33. Nice. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, sometimes, I guess, maybe this doesn't show. Or maybe it's non-logged in users or something. Okay, but anyways. Okay, back to coding. So we have this very difficult problem. It is actually kind of one of the most difficult problems I've worked on, which is saying something. Probably says that I haven't taken very many computer science courses. But, okay, so we have this first object, and we have this second object. And then you see how this first object has these objects with IDs in them inside an array. So what we want to do with that is, if we get a matching one, so like this ID matches this ID, then we want to do another, like a recursive deep extend on that. But we want to keep the data from the first one, you know, if we can. And then for this one, I guess I should add another example here. So I should say like, we'll say like extra A, just so that we show that we're keeping that here. So these IDs here match. You have to define which key will be primary. Yeah, so this is just like a custom deep extend that just looks at the ID property. But yeah, that's a good note. Yeah, so it's just going to look at this ID property. So it's going to match on this. So it's going to look at this. Well, why don't you pair program with me? Because I think I got it mostly worked out. So we've got this first one. This matches here. And so what this is going to do is output this, right? Because we have the notes which are different here. So this is going to be added on. And then the 1 and the 1 is the same, right? Now for the second one, we have extra here and we have different here. So we're going to keep both of those in the final object. And then this is kind of a curious part. So this object with ID 3 isn't in the second array. So we're actually just going to remove it. It just gets removed. And then 4 gets added. Can you put your split on the left? Oh, pull your split to the left? Sure. Well, the problem is that it's going to cut out some of the code over here. But that's okay. Oh, the cam is over the output. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I know you guys like seeing my face, but let's turn that off just temporarily. Because we're hardcore coding right now. Okay, so so yeah, and then 4 is a new item. And then this is another curious case. So 4, the ID 4 object is going to be added to the end. And this is important. The order of the objects in the second array needs to be maintained. That's like a rule. And then anything that's not in the second object is going to get removed. So if the ID doesn't match. And then this outer object gets extended as normal. So we have other y and other set to x. And so x is going to, overrule it. And then extra, this is a property that's in the second object, but it's not in the first. And that gets set like a normal extent. So everything else is just a normal extent. And you can see like the in JavaScript, are arrays always in the order they were in? Yes, definitely. And in objects too, actually. For anyone who didn't know, object keys now have a guaranteed order after ECMAScript 2015. So I don't know. I don't know what that means to you, but I think it's pretty cool because now you can kind of rely on the key order, but not for older browsers. So it might still be a little bit iffy with like Internet Explorer 11 or whatever, or earlier. But that's a pretty cool thing I learned the other day too. Okay, when this water runs out, that's when I'm going to stop the stream. So you better hope that I drink slowly. Should I just take another sip? Okay, got a few more sips in there, right? Maybe another 5 hours. You can't see because I turned off the webcam. Okay, it's really low. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'll show you. This is the water. This is how much we have left. Are you guys scared? It's almost over. No, I'll drink it slow. I'll drink slow. Okay. Okay, so I made these helper functions up at the top. So we've got isObject. So we check to see if it's a type of object, that it's not null, and that it's not an array. And that's a pretty simple isObject check, but it's going to work for us. And then isArray, we're going to use the built-in isArray function. I just like it to be like a simple function isArray instead of using array isArray. And then getDataType, we're going to use a nested ternary, which I was a little skeptical about, but then I tried writing it out in if else statement, and it actually looked a lot messier. So I decided to go with this. And I kind of like this syntax where your conditions are wrapped in parentheses, so that you can tell what they are. And I think it kind of makes sense. If it's an object, we're going to return object. Else, if it's an array, we're going to return array. Otherwise, default to other. It's kind of cool. And then we're just passing that to an ES6 arrow function. And then we have for each key value pair. So instead of using object keys for each in the code, we're going to just be able to use this, and then we pass in an object, and we get the callback with the key and the current value. I like that. I use ternary a lot, but rarely nest. Now I might. That's awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I saw an article on dev.to the other day that suggested this, and I didn't like it at first. Watch out for the order of operations if you do. Yeah. Listen to flipcoder. Okay, so, but I don't know what you mean actually. I think I'm writing it right. Well, I think it's working. Well, actually, I have no idea if it's working because I haven't tested this code yet. This is like how much code I write. So like all this code right down here, like I wrote all of this code without testing it at all. This is how much code I write before testing. Just because I like to think through it first. Okay. That's good to keep in mind, definitely. Okay. I think I tested it though, and I think it worked. Okay, so we have this special deep extend thing. And hey, Aralan94, and we have some rules around it. My throat's starting to get a little scratchy. I think I need another cup of water. Oh wait, did I turn back on this cam? No, I didn't. Good. Okay, good. Okay. I did. And my throat's getting dry, guys. Okay, one second. I gotta mute my mic. and cough a little bit. If I can't drink water, I have to at least cough, you know? Um, okay, okay, we're back. Okay, so let's look at this code. So we got this special deep extend. We pass in a source and a target. And we're going to copy those. So we just do like a JSON stringify, JSON parse in order to copy. I know there's other ways to deeply copy objects, but this is kind of a nice way to do it. Then we call this underscore special deep extend, which we should probably rename to like, I don't know, recursive deep extend or recursive special deep, I don't know. But we'll just call it this for now. And this takes the source, the target, and then a parent key and a parent. And we'll see what we need these for in a second. And this is going to reference a function called insert missing key value pairs. Let's go through this first because we use this a few times and it's going to be super useful. So we get a target and we get a source. This is a little confusing, the terminology I'm using. I think, whatever, we're just going to leave it how it is. So for the source, we're going to loop through each key on the source. And then for the target element, where if that key is undefined, if it's currently set to undefined, we're just going to set that key equal to the value that's on the source object. Okay, so it just inserts missing keys, which means like if we have an object that's empty and then we have a source object that has a equal to 1, then this one has a missing key of a, so we're just going to set it equal to 1 just like the other object. Okay. So now let's go through our amazing, awesome special deep extend function. So first we're going to get the source type and we're going to get the target type. So this is going to return something like object or array or other. Those are the only three possibilities: object, array, or other. And we're going to get the target type. And if the target type is array, we're going to do some stuff here. But since that's not what I'm thinking is going to be the default, let's actually change this to object and change this to array. And let's move this code up there before we go through it. And let's move this code down into the array part. Okay, and let's add a space before and after in this little statement. Okay, so for the object, so if our target type is an object, we're going to go through each key value pair on the target. We're going to get the type of the value, so remember that's array, object, or other. And then we're going to call special deep extend on the nested object for the source and the value of the target. This is a little, I wrote this very late at night last night. So this is going to pass in a value. This is going to pass in the value. So these are both nested values and they should correspond to each other. So it should be the same key. So right here we're looking at like timelines and timelines pretty much. Recursion, fancy. Exactly. So this is going to be equal to this one, and then the target value is going to be equal to this one, this array, as the example. And then the key and the source are gonna let us set some things up. So I'll show you what we use that for in a second. So the key is just going to correspond to the current key we're at. So it's going to be timelines, and then source is just going to be the parent object. So it's just going to be equal to object 1 and this example over here. Okay, we'll go through what that does in a second, but let's just quickly finish up this kind of for each of if it's an object. So we're going to say, okay, if the value is not an array or an object, so if it's something like this one here, the other one, we're just going to set the source's key equal to the target value. So that's going to be object1 other, and we're going to set that to the value that's on object2, which is just going to be x. So other is going to be set to x. Nice. And then for the final thing, and I'm not sure. Yeah. So I think I do need this. So we're going to insert missing key value pairs on the source using the target. Yeah, so that's going to look through so that's going to look through all of the keys on the on this one, on object 2, and see if they exist on object 1, and if they don't, they're just going to insert it. So that's going to take care of our extra. So now, right now, we've just looked at just this, right? Just that one right there, and this line. So just these two lines are going to take care of this other property and extra. And so those are going to be set using that. Now we have this thing for array. Let's go through that real quick. So this is mostly going to be used on nested arrays, but I also want this deep extent to support passing in arrays to it. So if you want to pass in object 1 and object 2 and have those be arrays, I want it to still work. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to do target for each. So we're going to loop through all of the items in the object2 array. I know it's confusing to call object2 an array, but in this example, it's going to be an array. And then we're going to find the matching source item. So we're going to look for an item in the object1 array. I know it's not an array right now, but we're pretending. And we're going to match the IDs. If we find a matching source item, then we're going to, And then we're going to insert missing key value pairs. What? How does this make sense? So this was very late, and I think I made a mistake. Oh no. No. This is genius. Okay. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Sometimes I think I'm an idiot. Sometimes I think I'm a genius. I'll probably go back and forth several times here. But so remember how I said we wanted to maintain the order of the array items on object 2? So these array items could be totally different than the ones in object 1. So that's why we're going to use the target array as kind of the default. And then we're going to loop through each target item, so each of these, and we're just going to grab any objects from object 1 and insert their keys into the matching ones for object 2. And that is kind of like a reverse extend. You know, like we're supposed to be extending these objects, but instead we're extending these, but we're not overwriting them with the values. We're just inserting them if they're missing. So that'll take care of something like this, right? So this one is missing from this object. So in our final, it's going to be inserted. So but we have a problem here, right? Because we're adding new keys to these objects, but this is the object that we're going to return in the end. This is the object that we're quote unquote extending. So how do we get around that problem? Well, if we're working with a nested array, so let's look at these for example. So if we're working with these nested arrays, then we're going to have the parent context. So we're going to have the parent object, and we're going to have the parent key. And we're going to set that equal to target, which is an array in this situation. So we're going to overwrite these timeline items with these timeline items, which after we extend these timeline items with any data from these, any missing data from these. So that's how we solve that. And then if the source, so if we're not working with a nested array, so if object 1 and object 2 themselves are arrays, then we're going to do this second one here, where we're just going to set the source equal to the target. And so we're overwriting the reference, and I'm not sure if that works. So since we're extending object 1 with object 2, object 2's values are always the correct values for those we don't modify. Yes. Yes. Well, so object 2 represents all of the modified values. So we want to take object 2 and we want to put all of those updated or new things or reordered things, and we want to mirror them in object 1. So yeah, I'm still, I don't know why I feel so weird about this line, but I'm going to just mark it with weird so that later I know that I wasn't an idiot. So if a key is missing on object 2, will you remove it on object 1? Yes. Yes, that's the plan. So you can see in these notes up here that's what we do. So the output is this. Or actually, I should copy this over because I think we added something. Yeah. So the output is this. So object with ID 3 is removed because it's in the first one, but it's not in the second one. Okay, so I think, I don't know, I think that works. I'm going to just, I don't know, I won't say weird there, but I'm going to be looking out for this line because I think this might cause issues. I'm not sure why I feel that way, but I think it might. And then we're going to return the source. But that's the item. What if item 3 exists, but the key isn't there, like the text is gone? Wait, so, okay. So, tell me if I'm getting this right. So you're saying, what if item 3 exists, but the key isn't there, like text is gone? Okay, so let's look at, so I'll use item 1 as an example. So you're saying, what if I remove text here? Is that what you're saying? So that is going to output this. So text will be black because it's in the original. So we're gonna, the point is that, so the whole point of this is that we're preserving data as much as possible if we're not explicitly overwriting it. So yeah, okay. So yes, this is the magic. This is why this is magical. Because this is why we want it. Because so let's say you are editing a web page, okay? And you have your full portfolio. So you have your bio, you have the price of your services, you have a bunch of different images representing your projects, okay? So you have that full web page, you're editing it with Remake. Yeah, maybe. But it's a little specialized. So it does have these rules. So objects can contain arrays or strings, and arrays can only contain objects. So I wrote it with these rules in mind. So in order to make it more general purpose, I might have to modify it a little bit. But okay, so just to get back to Sullivan's question. So say you have this full web page and you're editing it with Remake.js. So you have all this data, right? But On this other page, you just have your bio. So you go to like your profile page, right? And you just have your bio on that page. Now, if you want to save that data, and you're saving it to this giant object that Remake has on the back end, how are you going to save that to just the bio field, right? Now, we do have support for, saving to a path or saving to an ID. So you could kind of get around it with that. But the idea is that you could just save that page just as it is using the regular save. And Remake would look at it and would say, okay, so you're updating the main data with this bio, but we have all this other data already. We have all your we have your profile image, we have your project images, we have your pricing. What do we do with that? And by default, Remake is going to keep all of that data for every object. And if you want to, if you want to remove a thing, most likely it's going to be inside of an object with an ID. And if it's inside of an object with an ID, well, you can just remove that element, and then boom, you're good. Because Remake's going to be smart enough to remove any full objects, right? So not objects that match, but it will, not keys that match. It won't remove those. But if it's a full object and it's missing from the second one, then it will remove it. So that's most of the things you want to remove, right? If you want to remove a to-do list item, that's going to be an object. If you want to remove a blog post, that's going to be an object. If you want to remove, like a portfolio image, that's probably going to be represented by an object too, and it's going to have its own unique ID. Don't listen to Flipcoder. This is going to be a full stack framework that does everything you need, and you don't even have to worry about any of the data wrangling whatsoever once you get used to the conventions. No, I appreciate a Flipcoder. And honestly, so that is true. That is true, because when your project gets advanced enough, you probably are going to want to implement some things custom and not use Remake's, defaults. But the idea is that you can build like a whole web app with Remake using the defaults, and it's going to treat you pretty well throughout it. It's going to preserve as much data as it can. It's going to only overwrite data when it has to, and it's only going to remove data when you've kind of explicitly removed that entire item. So its goal is to be pretty smart out of the gate, and this is my attempt at that. I don't even know if I've succeeded, but that's the idea. And then in the future, sure, if you want to, I did not. I hired someone who's very talented. Yes, we could use a delete ID hook, but I want to just have one save function. I don't want to have like a special delete attribute. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If you want to find her, her name is it Alyssa? It was a while ago that I had it done. Let's see. It's gonna be. The thing is, she has a profile photo that looks exactly like this, so it's really easy to find her. And I do want to promote her. It was like not that expensive. I think she only charged like $100 or something, which definitely expensive for some things, but she's like wicked professional, and she did multiple revisions, and I think that's pretty inexpensive for like a multi-revision project. Man, where is she? I guess I had this done a while ago. I've followed a lot of people since then. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Now that I've invested a few seconds in this, I want to find it. Okay, I'm gonna look for 5 more seconds. That's not true. I'm totally gonna look until I find it. Um, maybe her name is Alyssa. No, that's not it. Uh, yeah. Did I chat with her on Twitter? Or was it Gmail? Maybe it was from a while ago. Like even further back. No. These are all my followers now. Not followers. All the people I'm following. I've loaded them all. Why can't I remember her name? What's her name? I could have sworn it was Alyssa. No. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh. There it is! Whoa, I actually remembered someone's name. I actually remembered someone's name. She changed her profile photo. It used to look even more like mine. But I think I was, I don't know, maybe, yeah. But yeah, this is her. You should check her out. She's wicked talented. I don't know, it's just, when I hired her, it was a couple years ago, so maybe she's increased her prices. But she's incredibly talented. Look at this. This is a rough draft, but it's super cool. Oh. Like, how do you see this and not just want to buy it? How do you, like, that is so cute. The fire is, or what's his name again? What's his name? It's from the Studio Ghibli film, the one with the walking house thing. How am I forgetting? Now that I've remembered Alyssa's name, I'm now completely devoid of any other thoughts. Howl's Moving Castle. What's the fire's name? That's him, I think. Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, the mouth is too similar. I think it's like a fire name, wasn't it? It was like Char or Ember or something. I mean, it wasn't that at all. Okay, but anyways, so let's get back to this. So I guess let's try to test this out. I'm gonna run into like a million bugs. I just know it. But yeah, I mean, this is how programming works, right? Okay, so let's go into CodePen.io. I hate every time I type in CodePen, it comes up with codependent. Google is so triggering. Okay, so we'll go here. Oh yeah, Calcifer. Yep, that's the one. Oh yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen that movie, it's one of the best movies ever. I don't know if anyone hasn't seen it. It's so cool. Okay, so we're gonna paste this in here. What's not gonna work? So this output thing isn't gonna work. But the rest probably should work. And let's just console log. You know, it would be insane if this just worked. Like, if it just, like, worked out of the gate without any testing. That would be the most, like, crazy thing that I've ever done. But no, it won't. I know it won't. I'm not going to even get my hopes up. Okay. So we're going to go in here. We're going to open up console. Undefined. Perfect. Just what I was expecting. Okay, so wait, how do I want debug mode. Debug's my favorite. Okay, undefined. Perfect. That's just what we wanted, right? Okay, so what is going wrong here? Oh, actually, hold on, guys, 1 second. I gotta take a call real quick. I'll be right back. Hey guys, can you hear me? I am back. Okay, so we got undefined, which is not exactly what we want. So let's see what's going on here. So we've got object 1 and object 2. Let's see. Let's test out like our other things. So we've got this one working. Yeah. This looks like it's working. Okay, so get data type works. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. This looks like it just works, right? I guess we could test it, but I think it's fine. Then object 1 and object 2, we're passing that into special deep extend. So I guess we could just use like a bunch of console logs. Because that's the way to debug. Can you guys hear me right now? Am I muted? I think you can hear me, right? Maybe you guys are just taking a break. Okay, I'll put back the webcam because we're doing more like open programming. Okay, so I'm going to save that there, refresh. Okay, so we've got both objects. And we're going to pass that in like this. So we should be getting here. Let's see. Yep, we do get there. Okay, actually, I have to go again because I have to go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back again. Some confirmation that you guys can hear me would be good. Because I have kept myself muted before. I think that's fine. It looks like the mic is working. Okay, so back to this. Source type. So we're going in here. I think we're getting this. I don't know why we wouldn't be hitting this. So then we're gonna get the target value. Oh. No, that should work, right? This will deep extend. So the theory is that we're just working on the source object throughout all of this. So I guess what we could do is just like console log. Well, actually, why don't we take a little adventure? We'll just go through the entire function, right? To see what's happening at every stage. So here we've got source type, object, and object. Source has these three, and target has these three other x. Okay, cool. So this is where we're at now. Let's step over here. I think if we step, yeah, okay. So then we're going to go into this one. Oh, we didn't really need to go into that. Okay, so we're going to step over that. Oh, shoot. I don't know how to use debugger. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go in, continue, and then do I have to go in here? Or can I just continue? Nope. So I have to go in there in order to get in there. It's like a puzzle every time. Okay, so we'll go in here and then in there. Oh, you're right. Yeah, of course. Of course, computer, you're always right. Okay, because we're going to go in there. Okay, now we're in here. Okay, are we really going to do this for every single step? So let's see. Let's see our call stack and our local scope. So local scope, the key is timelines. That's what we want. The target value is this array. Hey, Developi. I like your name. I think. Developa. So Developi. How's it going? What are you working on? We're working on a library that can deep extend objects while preserving some state using IDs to match objects against each other. I think that's a good way of explaining it. Okay, so yep, and then we've got this array here. And here we're going to say, okay, so let's continue. And we should go into here because this is an array. We do. Okay, so then we're going to special deep extend this. Okay, so let's go in here. And let's see, what is the source? So the source is an array and the target is an array. Okay, I think we might run into some trouble here. So let's continue. Go into this part. And let's see, so we've got our parent object, which is the source object, like the main source object. And then we've got the parent key of timelines. And then we've got source and target, and they're both arrays. And let's just make sure that these are different. Yeah, those are totally different. See, we even have the different key value. Okay, so we're going to go into here. And let's see, matching source item. So we're going to continue. Do we get a matching source item? We do. We get an ID of 1 matching to an ID of 1. Test 15? What are you saying? Hello? Wait, are you saying that you can't hear me? You can hear me, right? Hello? Why are you saying test? 1, 2, 3, test 15. Why? You can hear me. Good. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Okay. I will stop being annoying now. Okay, so we're going to insert missing keys for the target and the matching source item. So that means that I think... Wait, let's go to our main code. So if we go down here, yeah, we see your messages. You're posting a bunch of test messages, right? Okay, so the target item and the source item. So yeah, the source isn't going to do anything to the target for this one. Oh, I messed these up too. I should probably copy these over. That stinks. What? It banned you from the channel? That doesn't make sense. Is it because of the sensitive topics that we were talking about earlier? And now we've either been reported or we're going to be censored? It's possible. Okay, so we found the matching source item, and we've got the target item, and so that's not gonna do anything. But let's go into it anyways. So we'll continue, and then we'll go in, and we'll see the source item. Oh no, that is gonna be extended. So if we go in here, oh, that's weird. Okay, so we're gonna have target key ID. So if it's undefined, so continue from there. Do I continue? Continue. Oh man, I think I messed up. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now we have target key of text. Wait, I think that's fine too. So we'll continue. Oh shoot, I continued too many times. I was supposed to go in. Okay, whatever. So now we're back here. Let's go in. Matching source item is undefined. Okay, wait. Now let's continue. So matching source item is 2. Okay, so let's continue here. Continue. Go in. Continue. Let's continue from there. Okay, so now let's see, did we extend inside the target? So we're gonna be looking, I don't think we did. I think we did something a little weird. So I think in here, so yeah, let's get this looking. Whew, exactly like the other one. Okay, so I think what we did in here is no, in here. Insert missing key value pairs. Well, okay, let's look. We can see. So we've got notes awesome, text different, and text 4. So let's see, is that the same as what we had before? Notes awesome, text different. That's 4. Well, so that didn't really show us anything. Okay, so let's copy this again, and let's paste this in there, and let's console log target over here. Oh yeah, probably. Okay, so the first time through, we get this, which I think is what we want to get. Right? So we wanted the notes, and we get the extra from the 2. So we're on like the right path. And we've got 4. Right? Because we're getting this extra thing. That's a key thing that lets me know this is working. That it's doing anything, I guess. But the problem, so actually I don't even really know what the problem is. But let's console log wait, where did I put the console log? I put the console log in here. Oh, I just wrote it in here. I should put it in here. So this should be I don't know why I test like this. I should probably not even be using CodePen. It's kind of stupid to use CodePen. I could just create like an index HTML file and be reloading that. Let's just do that real quick. Okay, so let's go into the downloads folder and just put test. Or actually no, we already have a GitHub file for this. Let's just open up our sidebar and drag in special deep extend, and we'll create a new file in here, and we'll call it index.html, and we will paste our HTML in from before, and we'll just say hello, and we'll delete this stuff, and we will include special deep extend. Okay, so now if I reveal in Finder and open this up, now we get the wait, am I not what? Console log target? But I should also be, so there's no other console log in here? I thought there was another console log. Oh, I guess not. Okay, so we're going to console log the output too. Oops. Output. Okay, cool. So now we'll refresh this. Okay, so we're getting undefined for the output. Let's just label the output. Okay. And hey UI 12, hey Zeek XL, hey Zorxy and S1 Faka. How's it going? We are working on a library for deep extending objects based on IDs while maintaining the order of the second objects objects. The second objects. Yes, that all makes sense, right? Okay, so console log, and we're also going to console log source, and we're going to wrap these like this, just so we know what's what. Okay, so we've got source, we're setting source to undefined at some point, and target is an empty array at some point, and I think that's going to make sense if we just look at the parent key. I think the parent key for the second one is going to be extra, right? Because it would make sense. Well, would it ever really make sense for target to be, oh yeah, target is an empty array, right, for extra. Okay, so let's refresh. Yep, so that's right. So extra timelines times, oh, wait, huh? What? Okay, but so this is the puzzling part when source, well, no, that's not super puzzling. I guess what, what? Oh, I know what it is. I know what's happening. We're not returning anything from our parent function. So we should just be returning this, because this is going to return the source. The reason why this source is undefined is because it's after a recursive loop. So that's fine, right? Because that's just inside of here. So it's just when it's inside of the extra key, right? And this doesn't have an extra key, so it makes sense that it's going to be undefined over there. I think, at least. Yeah, I mean, we're literally inside the extra key right here. It's telling us that. Okay, so we got that figured out. We're returning it now. Please, computer, have mercy on me. This is awesome. Okay, I don't know what sound I just made. It's just kind of a happy noise. Let's see if it corresponds to the output that we actually want. So we got timelines. We've got 1, 1, and then an array of 3. And let's just confirm that it's ABC. It is. And then we've got timelines, and we've got 2 different and extra A. We got that, and we've got 4, 4. We've got that. We've got other equal to x and extra equal to this. So wait, what ended up being the issue? Let's look at our Git. And let's go into, man, where is it? Special deep extend. Okay, so what were we doing wrong? For each, well, we reorganized that. I don't think we even added anything, guys. Did we? I think we were doing it right. Is that true? No, I'm not sure. Maybe the only thing that was missing was the return. I'm actually not sure because we rearranged this. We moved the object thing up to the top. But no, I think that was all the same. So I literally think that if we would have just loaded it up, but we would have returned, we would have been fine. So I think we built this okay. Surprisingly. Kind of surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly. Maybe you expected it. Maybe you believed. Okay, so we need some other test cases for deep extending objects. I guess we could do, let's see, deep equal objects in JavaScript. Deep equal library. I guess this is some node npm thing I gotta install. That's annoying. I miss the days when I could just copy and paste code. You know, that was, I mean, yeah, it wasn't great, but it didn't require Webpack, which was nice. So just do something very simple, you know? Hey, Lendif, how's it going? So I guess we'll install this deep equal package. How are we going to include it? I guess we can just do, what do you call it? Yeah, exactly. I wonder if jQuery, does jQuery have a deep equal? I don't think they do, right? They have some crazy functions though. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we're going to npm init y. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Ugh, fuck. This is the wrong project. Oh man, I don't even know what I just did to that project. That probably doesn't do anything, right? If you already have a package JSON, it probably doesn't do anything, right? Why would it do anything? It doesn't make sense that it would do anything. Ah, okay, it does do stuff. Whatever, we'll just discard it, right? Discarded. Boom, done. Okay. So let's go into the right repository and go into, where were we? Special deep equal, deep extend, right? Special deep extend. Okay, we're gonna do npm init y. Okay, it has a stupid ISC license. I don't even know what ISC means. Why can't you just give me the MIT license by default, huh? Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we added that. Then we're going to do npm install. And someone said we don't need to do save anymore. Is that true? So we're going to do deep equal. We'll try it. See what happens. Package JSON, deep equal, added to dependencies. That's awesome. Okay, so now we need parcel. Okay, but we have parcel globally installed. So if we do, if we go into special deep extend, and at the top we say, I guess const, right? And we'll go into this package and we'll just see. We'll just copy this, right? Whatever. I want the deep equal one. And we'll say const deep equal require deep equal, and we'll save that. And then we're gonna do parcel parcel special deep equal deep extend. What? I swear I installed parcel. npm install. It's so pointless arguing with a computer. I don't know why I do it. Okay, so we will globally install parcel, and then we should, or maybe I only locally installed it for the project. Getting really low on water, guys. Really low. You see? There's one more little sip there. Whoa, parcel requires a lot, huh? You know what's funny? The guy who created parcel is probably like, I'm gonna create something super simple. Joke's on you. Okay. I only laugh because I'm in the same situation. How many dependencies does the framework have at the moment? Let's look. Are you talking about like external dependencies, like not internal dependencies? Yes, you are. That's a stupid question, sorry. So if we open up Remake.js and we go into the package JSON, we can see the dependencies. So we've got two. We've kept it pretty small. We've got Lodash and delegated events. We've got dev dependencies for like packaging it up, but this delegated events library is pretty fly, and it doesn't have any sub-dependencies, I think. Lodash.js, I'm not sure if it has sub-dependencies. I don't think so, right? Yeah, Lodash is its own thing. So yeah, no sub-dependencies, just these two dependencies. Yeah, delegated events and Lodash.js. Delegated events makes it possible to do delegated events on the document, which is really, really nice when you're working with dynamic components. And then Lodash.js is just the ES6 version that uses imports and exports for Lodash. And the rest of it is like stuff I built myself. So there's this like library Hummingbird that handles like Ajax and DOM and like special stuff. And then there's this one Query.js, which is my copy of jQuery. And it's very, very simple. There's like more documentation than code, pretty much. But yeah, this is where we use delegated events so that we can attach event listeners to the body. Yep. So yeah, so those are the dependencies. Okay, so let's go back. We were gonna do a deep equal, right? So we did this. We compiled with parcel. Wait, server running? Why is parcel running a server? Is that crazy? Am I crazy? Is that crazy? I think that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Whatever. Requires not defined. Okay, wait. What did parcel do? It should have output something, right? Dist. There we go. Special deep extend. Okay, cool. So maybe if we just include that one, it'll work. This is how every problem happens. Okay. Let's remove this other sidebar thing, because it's really getting on my nerves now. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're including dist. Failed to construct. What? Wow. Okay. So we're going to do no HMR. Parcel, no HMR. And the only reason I know that command is because we're using it not in Remake, we're using it in the other project. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the other project? It's, well, we could just open Adventure Story, although we already have Adventure Story opened over here. Okay, so let's look at what is our parcel command. I think it's a watch command, right? Yep, it is. So we're going to copy this parcel command, and we're going to say, I don't know, we can call it index.js, right? That's fine. And we'll just output it to main.js. Maybe this will work, right? Probably out directory is not the right way to say it. There's probably a better way. And we'll run that, but we just got to rename our thing to index. So let's delete this dist folder, and then we're gonna rename this to index. Because why not? I mean, we don't really need to. It's not that important. But oh shoot, I just deleted it. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna refresh. Oh wait, no, we're not including the right file. We want Oh no, it outputted it. It outputted it to a folder. Yeah, okay. I deserve that. Okay, so we're we're gonna output it. We don't need an output directory. It can just default to its own thing. So let's delete this. We could rename it the file, but I don't even want to look up how to do that because this is such a simple thing that I'm trying to do. Okay, so we'll save that. Boom, we've got it working, and now we've got a deep equal library. So now we can test. So now we can say output, and we're going to say console log, and we're going to do deep equal, and we're going to say output and expected output. So we're going to do let expected output, and then we're going to move this up here, and then we're going to do this. Okay, cool. So let's refresh. Output equals true. What? Oh, true. Okay, nice. Test one. So, we're gonna make like a really simple testing library, which is not a testing library, but just like some tests. So we're gonna do let target, or no, source. Let source objects, or we'll say let example, or test. We'll say let source test source objects. That's the one. Okay, equal to an array, and then we're going to put this object into that array, and so that's going to be our first test. And then we're going to say same thing, but for target, and we're going to close that. Boom, 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 and put this in there. Jeez. Okay, and then we're going to say let test outputs, or expected outputs, equal, and that's going to be an array. And then we're going to put this object in there. So now we've got a simple testing framework set up. It's very simple. It's not a framework. It's a very simple testing setup. And then we're going to say test source objects for each. For each, and we're going to do function. Water is MVP? Oh, I like that. That's good. That's funny. I mean, kind of, but it's more like water, air, gravity, atmosphere, food, right? Kind of need food. But yeah, no, I get the point. Okay, so for each of these, we have it's saving the stream. Oh, don't get there. Oh, MVP. I thought you were saying minimum viable product. Have you ever heard of that? Like in startup culture, they're like, release the minimum viable product. You know, like don't release the advanced version, just like get something out the door. Yeah, so I thought you were saying water was like the minimum viable product for the human species to like survive or something. Something silly like that. Yeah, water is MVP. I'm almost done. As soon as I do implement like one or two other tests, then I'm done. So we're gonna say let target object equal target objects, and then we're going to grab it by the index, and then do the same thing for this, grab it by the index, and then we're going to say So we're going to say this is the actual output. So the actual output is test source object and test target object. And then we are going to deep equal them. Nice. Let's see if this works. Oh my goodness. I is not defined. Oh, because I said index. That's fine. Okay. Test true. Okay, nice. So, oh, and we can do test. Let's do the special ES6 strings. And we'll say test I. Oh, well, yeah, we'll start with 0. We're programmers, right? Okay, test 0 is true. And we can just say question mark passed, otherwise failed. Okay, and that'll be enough for now. Okay, so now we're gonna just implement like a couple more tests. So I want like a more advanced case. So I think like super nested objects would be good. This is something I'm not sure that it's gonna work well with. So let's get rid of all of these. Let's get rid of this other thing. Let's just have an array, and we'll say ID, and we'll say children, and then we'll create an array off of that. And then in here, we'll just have an object, and then this is going to be an ID of 1. And then we're going to say children again. And then we're going to have another object. I guess we could change the ID here. And then we're going to say ID of 3. And that's it, right? And then let's add some like data to each of these. Let's put these on their own line. So the data, we can just call it data. I don't really care. And we'll just say like ASD. Well, what should we say? We'll say A, B, just so it's easy to keep track of, and C. And that looks good. I don't know if this is valid. Is this valid object? Yep, looks good. Okay. So now we need something to extend, I guess. And let's just call this list instead of timelines. Okay, so now we're going to say like Z, Y, X. And IDs. Okay, so let's see if this works. So for the index.js, we're going to put another object to test against here, and another object here. And if this passes, I think I'm done for now. But this will be a really good foundation. Failed. Oh wait, it's because we didn't have an expected. We didn't have an expected output. So I think our expected output is just the second one. Okay. So we're gonna do that. So it was comparing it to undefined, which makes sense why it would fail if it was comparing it to undefined. Okay, so now we've got the expected output. Passed. So just set to the last one. I guess we should make it slightly more complicated. Let's put like we'll put like extra data on here of like H. And let's just make sure that 2B. So that gets the H. And then we're going to expect that here. Okay. Yeah, that passes too. So I don't know. I mean, I think there are definitely more complicated use cases that we should be testing. But I mean, this is pretty satisfying for now. Yeah, I wasn't super expecting to get this far. So that's exciting. So I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna say like special. This is like so much code right now, but it's just because we have the tests built in for now. So we're gonna say, what are we gonna say? We're gonna say library working with some basic tests. And we will add some more complicated tests in the future. But for now, this is good. And this will provide a really, really strong foundation for saving data in Remake, allowing us to add infinitely nested items that aren't going to get overwritten by future versions of the data, I hope. I think, yeah, that might actually be the thing to test, right? So we were thinking about having a story, what was it called? So we were going to have text for a story, and then we were going to have choices, and that was going to be an array. And then for each choice, we were going to have choice text. And then each of these was going to have an ID. So we say 1 ID, 2, and we were worried that if we extended this with something that looked like, so if we extended this more complicated one, so if we do choices here, and then we go into here, and we have more choices. We'll just do one more level. Okay, there. Then we were worried that this was going to overwrite it. So if we save this data, it's going to overwrite this data. So yeah, let's test that, and let's do like 3, and where is this stop? So here, and we'll do 4, and we'll do D and E. I think we skipped C, but that's okay, right? Or we could have C here. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and I'm going to give this an ID. Of like 6, just because the parent object is going to have an ID, so I want to make sure that that case is covered. I'm actually not sure what I do with that case. Okay, so we've got text A, then we've got choices, 1 with ID of 1, 1 with ID of 2. This has choice text B, that has choice text C. So let's overwrite these just to make sure that they're getting overwritten. So 1 and 2, so those should turn into BBB and CCCC. And then we have choices, ID 3 and ID 4 that are nested, and they have choice text D and E and choices. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is the main use case that we're looking for. So it makes sense to have some tests around this, and I'm actually it would be on my mind if I didn't test it. So I'm going to just do it real quick. Okay, so I'll add that, and that. And the expected output is going to look more like this. Except we want the B and C to be repeated 4 times. So we want B, 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 and C, C, C. And then that's all it should take to test. Nope, that's not all it takes. What? Oh, did I stop? Oh. Unexpected token. Okay, there it is. So we're missing something from. So when we have choices, okay, so choices here. So this D and this E and this D and this E. Okay, let's see. There we go. Nice, it passed. So we got what we were expecting, which means that I think data is going to be much more resilient in the future in the back end of Remake.js. Okay, added a 3rd test. Okay, awesome. So that's pretty exciting for me. If anyone wants access to this code, I'm gonna release it. I mean, not not like release it, but wait, did someone star Remake? Awesome. Lundy F, thank you for starring Remake. I really appreciate that. So we're gonna go in here and we're just gonna open this up to the public. Just in case you guys want to play around with it too. Luckily I didn't have to open up 1Password there. We all know what happens whenever I do that. Okay. So here we go. If you guys want to check this out, feel free. This is the code we just wrote. And everything's in index.js with the tests and everything and the special deep extent. Yeah, but it's super not well documented. I will work on that and hopefully release it as its own project. Yeah, it worked. We created 3 tests for it too. So we tested the, remember we were working on the multi-story hierarchy adventure game the other day, and we ran into some problems with saving the data. I tested that specific use case with this test right here. See, so we have the story data. This represents the story data with deeply nested choices, and then we're overwriting it with these choices, but it's still going to preserve the deep nesting when it saves. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm literally over the moon about it. I know it doesn't seem like that, but it's because I've been streaming for 4 hours, 4.5 hours, or no, 4 hours, 3.5 hours. Yeah, I've only been streaming 3.5 hours, but yeah, I'm just a little tired. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Let me know what you think. Look over the code if you want, and give me feedback. And next time we will be continuing work on our adventure game, which should now be much easier to implement with this new saving functionality. Dun dun dun! Oh, and I should probably finish off with the end of the water. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, oh yeah, Solvin, are you ready? Thank you for reminding me, Flipcoder. Please, Solvin, get ready. Yeah, go live, definitely. So just so you guys know, I'm not going to be on next week. It's very, very sad for me. You just mute it. Where is it? just do like something like this, right? Okay, yeah, so I'm not going to be on next week. I really, really want to be, but I have a big wedding that I'm going to prepare for. So I'm probably going to be pretty busy next Thursday and Friday, which are my normal streaming days. Um, can I, how do I rate? It says you're offline. Um, where's the raid button? Oh, you're writing the title. Okay, yeah, no worries. Um, yeah, so I won't be on next Thursday or Friday, but I'll be on the week after. I might even. Oh, yeah? Okay. Can I do that even when she's not online? Is that okay? Yeah? Okay. Okay. See you guys later. No, oh. Okay, let's try again. Oh. I already have a raid in progress. Hey, Salvin. Oh, if you sign off, it'll work? So I just stop the stream?